The Yale lecture hall buzzed with ambition. Dr. Alastair Finch had just finished a dense lecture on global economics. Then, Miguel, a quiet Filipino student, raised his hand. "Professor, if a country becomes rich but its people forget how to care for their elders, is that progress?" The room froze. Dr. Finch was left speechless. Miguel's question challenged the very definition of progress. Filipino students brought not just academic excellence, but a unique depth, valuing community and wisdom. Their presence quietly redefined what it means to succeed. If you like this video, then please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Your one like and subscribe gives us motivation. So, let's get started. Professors began calling this quality spiritual intelligence. It wasn't about religion, but about meaning, purpose, and compassion. Spiritual intelligence is the ability to see connections, act with humility, and lead with kindness. Filipino students embodied this, becoming models for a new kind of intelligence. For decades, we measured intelligence with IQ, then added EQ for emotional awareness. Now, spiritual intelligence, SQ, emerges as the compass guiding both. It asks, why are we learning? How can knowledge serve the greater good? Filipino students approached education as a way to uplift families and communities, not just themselves. Their ambition was collective, not individualistic. This perspective puzzled Western educators, who were used to competition over collaboration. The source of this drive wasn't found in textbooks, but in culture. Professors realized the most powerful intelligence might be woven into daily life, not taught in class. It's passed down through family values, shared struggles, and everyday interactions. To understand Filipino students' brilliance, educators had to look beyond the university. They had to explore the culture that shaped them, and what they found was transformative. Dr. Michael Lawson, a Stanford sociologist, believed leadership was about influence and authority. In 2015, he took a teaching post in Manila, expecting to teach, not to learn. The cultural shock was immediate. His Filipino students were respectful, quiet, and rarely challenged him. At first, he mistook this for a lack of confidence, but he soon realized their humility was a strength. They listened deeply, asked questions to connect, and worked together seamlessly. Leadership emerged naturally, not from the loudest, but from the best listener. There was no competition for the spotlight. Harmony was the goal. Dr. Lawson's Western ideas about leadership began to crumble. He saw that wisdom wasn't about having answers, but about asking the right questions and listening. True influence came from service and genuine care. The Philippines became a laboratory for his own transformation. He learned that leadership could be about creating trust, not asserting authority. Filipino students showed him a new model, one rooted in humility and community. This experience changed his understanding of intelligence and leadership forever. He realized that the deepest lessons come from unexpected places. The Philippines didn't just change his research, it changed his life. And it all started with listening. Dr. Lawson found spiritual intelligence in everyday moments. When a student missed class, classmates checked in, not for credit but out of genuine care. They offered help, food, and support instinctively. This was seeing yourself in others. One day, Lawson struggled with a projector. A student quietly fixed it, expecting no thanks. Another had the presentation ready as backup, all without fuss. The class worked as a team, focused on collective success. In debates, Filipino students began with respect. "I understand my classmate's point. May I offer another view?" Disagreement was handled with empathy, not confrontation. This preserved harmony and encouraged honest dialogue. Small acts, sharing lunch, helping a struggling peer, including everyone, were everywhere. These weren't just nice gestures, they were living proof of spiritual intelligence. It was an intelligence that built community and resilience. Dr. Lawson saw that true wisdom was practiced, not proclaimed. The classroom became a place where dignity and kindness mattered most. Filipino students led by example, showing that humility is a powerful force, and in those small moments, real learning happened. Where did this spiritual intelligence come from? It wasn't taught in formal classes. It was absorbed through daily life, starting in the family. Filipino culture values the group over the individual. Children learn to respect elders and care for siblings. Hardship shaped resilience. Centuries of challenges taught Filipinos to find joy in simplicity and rely on each other. Shared struggles fostered deep empathy and a sense of destiny. Faith was woven into daily life, not just practiced on Sundays. The concept of trusting a higher power after doing your best fostered humility and courage. Spiritual intelligence was forged at the dinner table, in typhoons, and in daily acts of kindness. Students brought this wisdom into the classroom, carrying the strength of their culture. It wasn't about academic theory, it was about lived experience. Filipino students arrived with more than knowledge. They brought a legacy of compassion. This unseen curriculum was more powerful than any textbook. It shaped not just minds but hearts, and it was a force that transformed everyone it touched. Returning to the US, Dr. Lawson couldn't teach leadership the same way. Inspired by Manila, he redesigned his Yale courses. He emphasized service, humility, and collaboration over competition. Group work required equal contribution. Grades reflected support for peers. Meetings began with, "How are you feeling?" Not just, "What are you thinking?" At first, students were confused, trained to compete, not collaborate. But soon, the classroom became more supportive and creative. Students listened deeply, built on each other's ideas, and learned that brilliance and kindness could coexist. Colleagues noticed the change. Engagement soared, and students called the courses life-changing. Spiritual intelligence became a core lesson. Lawson wasn't just teaching sociology. He was teaching a new way to lead and live. The quiet wisdom of Manila was sparking a quiet revolution at Yale. Students learned that success could be redefined. The classroom became a community, not a battleground, and the impact rippled far beyond the university walls. Lawson's work was just the beginning. The conversation spread, articles, talks, and collaborations followed. Professors worldwide noticed Filipino students' unique qualities: organizing study groups, welcoming newcomers, leading with quiet grace. Universities began valuing empathy, resilience, and community-mindedness in admissions. Business schools added service leadership modules, inspired by the Filipino model. The world realized that 21st century skills were deeply human, not just technical. Tech companies saw the value of leaders who served with humility. Recruiters sought graduates with these soft skills, now recognized as essential. The Filipino student became a model for future leaders. The ripple effect proved a simple truth: real intelligence lifts others up. Filipino students taught the world that success and compassion go hand in hand. True, lasting achievement is built on human decency, and the world was finally ready to learn. Yet, a paradox emerged. As the world celebrated Filipino spiritual intelligence, Filipinos risked losing it. Global pressures pushed young Filipinos to adopt Western models: assertive, individualistic, competitive. The danger mistaking humility for weakness or collective responsibility for lack of ambition. Many felt torn between family expectations and career demands. The challenge: how to compete globally without losing cultural essence. The answer isn't to reject ambition, but to redefine it. Bring your whole self to the world. Show strength in humility, power in service, wisdom in kindness. The Philippines must remind its youth of their cultural treasures. The world is listening. Filipinos must not forget their own wisdom. Their heritage is their greatest strength. The final lesson is simple. True wisdom is a way of being, not just knowing. It's practiced daily in small acts of love, humility, and service. This is spiritual intelligence in action. Think of the Filipino nurse in London, staying late to comfort a patient, not for praise, but out of compassion. Or the engineer in Dubai, organizing help for a colleague's family after a disaster. These are not exceptions, they are a pattern. Filipino culture values human connection above all. This is the intelligence the world is hungry for. It's not about academic scores, but about the heart. To Filipinos everywhere, your quiet strength and kindness are your greatest gifts. Honor them, practice them. They are the truest measure of a life well lived, and they have the power to change the world.